Andy, do we scan you for pregnancy or we don't scan you for pregnancy? So Kiva here is being scanned later this month for pregnancy. Do we scan Andy at the same time? The stallion is stood behind us. We know that he's been active on this one. We stopped monitoring with this one because they first went in together in August and they've stayed together ever since. We did scan her back at the beginning of September and she wasn't in foal. Then we didn't observe any evidence of any activity between them, so we more or less stopped monitoring, and we haven't started monitoring again because, well, mostly because I think she might be in foal. I just think she looks thick around the belly, thick up like here. I think she just looks, I really feel quite confident that she's in foal. However, she might not be, and do we want to scan her to be sure either way? I've recorded the answer to this question a few times, and every time I've recorded saying no, and I have never posted because I'm just not, maybe I think I probably know it's not the right answer. We probably will scan. The reason that we wouldn't scan is cost. At the stage that she'd be at, it's too late to prevent a twin pregnancy. If she's got a twin pregnancy, she's got a twin pregnancy. We couldn't prevent it at this point. She'd just have to carry it. So that's the reason that we want to catch Kiva now, and we're quite specific about when to scan Kiva, because we want to make sure that if you're carrying a twin, we prevent it. We've missed that with Andy. If that's happened, that's happened. So that's the reason that we're not as urgent with scanning and not as determined to scan at a certain date. It would tell us whether or not she's in foal, of course. It would tell us if I think we would be able to tell if there is a twin. I mean, she still has to carry the twin pregnancy, but we'd at least know. It's uncommon and it's unlikely, but of course it's not impossible. We would also then know if she's not in foal, what is going on. Is she starting to cycle again? Should we start monitoring her for activity with the Romeo over here? However, it costs us quite a lot of money, and we've already scanned her once and we've seen no further activity. So we haven't got any real reason to scan her again in terms of, oh, we've seen her active with the stallion, therefore we should suspect that there's a foal in there. It's only because she looks thick. So I don't know. It's invasive for her, so if avoidable and unnecessary, then that's another thing. It uses sedation and it's invasive. So if she doesn't need it, we don't just merrily do it for no reason at all. But probably the main thing for us is cost. The cost can very quickly spiral. If you just want to scan mares all the time, you're very quickly going to rack up a really big vet's bill. You have to just do it when you really need to know the answers. And I've been saying we probably won't, because if she is, she is. If she isn't, she isn't. We'll find out sooner or later anyway. And the main reason being normally to catch a twin pregnancy, and we can't do that with her now. And with Kiva, the other reason is that once in foal, she is sold. So we need to know for Kiva so she can go to her new home in foal. We don't have these sorts of thoughts with Andi, so it's just a case of she is or she isn't. We will monitor her weight and her health anyway. I suppose we would pamper her a bit more if she's in foal. However, she wouldn't be due until August, so she'd have plenty of time on spring and summer grass, so we wouldn't be worried she's not going to foal in April or anything. So we'd not be thinking to keep condition on her for that reason. So it's not as urgent in terms of pampering her a bit more if she is carrying. But we probably should find out, shouldn't we? So I don't know. We haven't decided. That's the answer to that one. Probably chat to the vet when he's here and just make the call when he's here. We can also do a blood test, which would tell us if she is or she isn't. It is cheaper and less invasive. However, if she isn't, it then doesn't give us that extra information about what is going on. Is she starting to cycle again? So that isn't that useful. And it also, I don't think, will tell us if there's a twin, unless it does tell you based on the hormone levels. If there's higher levels, it means twin. I'm not sure. I expect even if it does indicate one or the other, it probably wouldn't be definitive. But that's a guess. I could be wrong on that one. So I don't know. I just really suspect that she is. We just look at her and we think she doesn't look like the Andi that we know at this time of year, not in foal. She looks like the Andi that we know at this time of year in foal, basically, is where we're at with that one. But yes, it would be good to know either way, I suppose. If only it wasn't expensive. If only the vet would just do us I just do it for funsies. I'll ask him, see what he says.